Hey everyone, Luna here with this week's YouTube Pagan challenge. This question is, do you feel altar tools are important? And before I answer that question, I wanted to showcase some of my altar tools. Now the basics are an athame, which is the ritual knife, a bowline, which is used for like cutting herbs and stuff. It's usually a white-handled knife, a censer, a cup, a pentacle, a wand, a cauldron, a broom, and a bell. Now, I had a tiny little broom that was about this big, and unfortunately, it disappeared on me, and I have no idea where it went. That's usually what I used for clearing my space. However, I prefer the bell the most for clearing off negative energies. This is just a ceramic porcelain something bell that I've had forever. I think it used to be my mother's. And then here I'm showing, I have 3 types of sensors, but here I'm showing 2. It's just the basic sensor for sticks, and then this one is for cones. You put the cone in there, then you cover it. My cup I actually bought from a store, and it has a pentacle etched into it. And then these are my 2 athames. This right here was my first athame, and it's really pretty. See, this was my first athame. And then this one, which I got about 8 years ago, is my working athame that I use now. Look how pretty that is. And of course it's got a siren mermaid on the sheath. Now if I could only put this back in. And this is my wand. This came from a rose bush. It used to smell like roses. It doesn't smell like anything now, but it came from a rose bush. These were where the thorns were, which I cut off and sanded down, and then I sanded the edges down. It's nothing special, it's just a wand. And then for my working pentacle, now you can make these out of pretty much anything. My working pentacle is a coaster. This is a glass coaster that I got at the dollar store. And then I drew a pentacle on. And this is like when I'm invoking the directions and the elements and things like that. This is what I use. Now, I do use my tools. If I didn't use my tools, I wouldn't have so many. And I have a lot. And then, of course, the ultimate tool of all time, which is the candle. And this one smells delicious. And it's for autumn. I've been saving it for like a year. I'm going to burn this at the autumn equinox. So, woo! Anyway, so while I do have all these tools, I don't see them as truly important. I can see how they could be important in the beginning of your path. I can see you needing, for lack of a better term, and I don't mean this offensively, needing a crutch, something to help. It's more into it, something to help you visualize energy or visualize what you're trying to portray. Like back in the day, before I started just using my finger, I used to cut a doorway in my circles when I needed to get out during ritual with a group with an athame. I used to cast circle with my wand, and it helped me visualize that energy bubble. And again, I use a bell to clear negative energies. Usually I can use just a pot and a wooden spoon, but a bell is a much lovelier sound. It's, for me personally, it's not super important. I work magic without any tools whatsoever. My favorite is, of course, the candle. The candle helps me focus. I use the flame as a focal point, and it helps me reach a meditative state to help me do my spell or my ritual or whatever I'm doing more proficiently. So while tools are fun to have, they're not absolutely necessary. In my path anyway. In some paths, tools are symbolic and actually have a specific meaning within ritual. So that may be the point in your path or someone else's. For me personally, though, they are just a fun thing to start with, and a fun thing to have, and fun things to make, and fun things to smell, and fun things just to have. I think I already said that. But yeah, they're not super important for me. It's nice when I have them, but I've learned with having to have moved a cajillion times when I was homeless and having to bounce from house to house and not having my own personal private space. I learned that tools really weren't important when creating magic. So anyway, do you think there's some importance to tools? Please let me know in the comments below. You guys have a good night and brightest blessings.